Good afternoon, everyone. We are from Group 2 and we are going to talk about an interesting concept in language and linguistics called the phoneme, the same but different. So, by the end of this presentation, we are hoping you to get a better understanding of how phonemes work. So, let's start by defining what is phoneme. Next. Okay, so phonemes are the fundamental building blocks of any language. It is also are the smallest sounds in a language that can change the meaning of a word. Sometimes two sounds can seem almost the same, but they are actually different enough to create new words. This idea of the same but different is important in understanding how sounds work in language. So basically, phonemes are the basic sounds in a language that distinguish meaning. The same letter can represent different phonemes, making it important to focus on the sound, not just the spelling. Okay, next. So the concept of phonemes are the basic units of sound in any language, and even though the phonemes can sound very similar to one another, they function differently in distinguishing meaning. The phrase same but different in phonemes refers to sounds that share similar characteristics but vary in ways that are critical to the meaning of words. Next. So this is are the shared features in phonemes. So there are two phonemes might have similar features in the way they are produced. The shared features could include the first thing is place of articulation, second is manner of articulation, and the last is voicing. So next is going to be explained by Chacha.
Okay. Um, the second example is of phonemes is the first place of articulation. The label stop in P versus B. Both P and B are global stops, meaning they are produced by bringing both lips together to stop the airflow, then releasing it. Second is despite being produced in the same place, they differ in voicing. P is voiceless, meaning the vocal cords do not vibrate, and B is voiced, meaning the vocal cords vibrate when producing the sounds. B. Manner of articulation. Correctives. P versus V. Both F and V are labiodental fricatives, meaning they are produced by placing the top teeth on the bottom lip and forcing air through the gap to create friction. Again, they differ in voicing. The first is F. F is voiceless, no vocal cord vibration. And V is voice, vocal cords vibrate. And the third is the role of voicing. Voicing is one of the most common differences between similar phonemes. When two sounds share the same place and manner of articulation, but differ in whether or not the vocal cords vibrate, they create distinct phonemes, and distinction plays a crucial role in many languages. Voiceless sounds like P, F, and C are produced without vocal cord vibration, and voice sounds like B, P, and D are produced with vocal cord vibration. And the next is minimal pairs, how small differences change meaning. Minimal pairs are pairs of words that differ by only one phoneme, often illustrating the same but different concept. These pairs show how just one sound difference, even if subtle, creates two entirely different words, pit and bit. The only difference is the first sound's voiceless P versus voices B. Yet this changed the meaning. Sat and sat. The final sounds differ only in voicing. T is voiceless and D is voice, but the meaning shifts. And next gonna be explained by Zico.
Okay, so hello everyone. My name is Zico, and here I will explain to you same phoneme, different sounds, allophones. Sometimes sounds that are the same in terms of phoneme they represent can be pronounced slightly differently depending on the context, but they don't change the meaning of the words. These are called allophones. Example, in English, the P sound in spin without aspiration and pin with a puff of air called aspiration are both recognized as the phoneme P. Although they sound slightly different, they don't change the word's meaning. Next, Chacha. And the next material, I will explain to you the importance of distinguishing same but different phoneme. For native speakers, distinguishing between similar phonemes is often automatic. However, for language learners, these subtle differences can be difficult to perceive and produce. Failing to recognize them can lead to misunderstandings or difficulty being understood. Pronunciation, knowing how to distinguish between voiced and voiceless sounds helps in pronouncing words correctly. And listening skill, being able to hear the difference between similar sounds improves comprehension. And spelling and reading, many spelling differences reflect underlying phonemic distinctions. For example, Q versus G in cap versus gap. And the last is conclusion. The conclusion is subtle difference, big impact. Phonemes that are the same but different show how even small change in sound can make a big difference in language. These distinctions help us tell words apart, shape meaning, and allow us to communicate clearly. Understanding and mastering these small differences is key to improving language skill, whether it's for speaking, listening, or learning a new language. That's all from us. Thank you and good luck.